WQ Athens. And now with the play-by-play, here is Jared Wright.
Thank you, Handsome Dan. And once again, we welcome you inside James L. Robb Gymnasium for another Appalachian Athletic Conference tilt. This time it's the Johnson Royals against the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs on the men's side. Tennessee Wesleyan comes in under head coach Randy Casey in his second season, assisted by Jarian Tall in his second season. At the top of the conference standings, or at least in a tie at the conference standings, and trying to make some noise. But on the other side is the top scoring offense in the conference, and it's really both of these teams are neck and neck. Johnson tied at the top at 80.8 points per game. Tennessee Wesleyan just behind them in third, 80.6. So expect a high-scoring affair tonight, and this is why, talking in the women's game earlier, talking about Wesleyan comes in 5-2 overall. Johnson comes in 1-4 overall, 1-1 in the conference. Tennessee Wesleyan 4-0 in the conference. And in that top spot, or at least a tie for it right now, Johnson in the fourth. You got to throw records out the windows when you got teams like this putting up numbers. And also both teams featuring some top players in the conference in multiple categories across the way. And of course, none other than Rashawn Hampton for the Bulldogs. He has been the two-time Conference Player of the Week already in the season. The young season not had too many weeks already, and they handle business here behind Hampton. He had 28 points in 2 wins this past week, and that included an 81-58 road win against Truett McConnell, and then the 76-71 win against Bryan. He had a career-high 38 points on 16 of 25 shooting on the road at Truett McConnell, along with 4 of 8 from behind the three-point line. He hails from Winchester, Kentucky. He had 18 points against Bryan. He shot 56.8% from the field and 50% from behind the arc in those 2 games. He has also had 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 steals, and 2 blocks in that matchup. Expect him to garner that award again later throughout this season, just with the way that Ray has been playing, and Rashawn Hampton, as they call him. We interviewed Manny Corradado at halftime of the women's game, and he's been a defensive player of the week and in the conference already, but out with an injury right now. Him and Omarion Barber, who are 2 big pieces of the game for the Bulldogs and Randy Casey, are out with injuries. So it's been kind of that next man up, and Corey Marshall has been that guy filling in the shoes for Corradado so far. But this Johnson team under Logan Sharp in his 3rd season, assisted by former UT assistant and NCAA coach Tony Jones in his 3rd season, find themselves on their first road trip of the season, and it's in conference play against one of the top teams. But they do have a top player in their own right, Mason Lockhart. He's a senior forward hailing from Atlanta, Georgia. He is 4th in the conference in scoring at 18 points per game. He is also 2nd in the conference in rebounds per game at 9.4 per game. And then he finds himself right behind Manny Corradado, who is top in the conference, even though he's not been playing. 73% is Manny's field goal percentage. Mason's is 64.3, good for 2nd in the conference. And then it is, on the other side, Rashawn Hampton, 20.9 is good for 2nd in the conference for the Bulldogs. And then Charles Neverdon has got 16 points. That's 5th in the conference for his status. And then he is also the 4th best shooter from behind the arc. 50.9% is Charles Neverdon, who is the senior guard from Baltimore, Maryland, as he handles business from behind the line for a very stout 3-point shooting Bulldog team. They are number 1 in the conference, 40.4 as a team from behind the arc. 2nd in the conference from the floor at 46.5. Johnson at 47.5. So these 2 teams, expect them to score a lot in bunches and be very successful from the floor no matter where they're at. One thing is, Johnson does not turn the ball over very much. They've only had 5 games, but they've turned it all over just 9.2, which is best in the conference. Tennessee Wesleyan, on the other hand, turns it over 15 times a game, which is about 10 in the 10th in the conference out of 13 teams. So let's look at the starting lineups for you real quick. For Johnson, they will start Mason Lockhart, as we mentioned, senior, one of the 4 on this team. 6'7" senior forward, averages 18 points, 9.4 rebounds per game. Number 2, Garrison Eady, 6'2", freshman point guard from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Number 4, 6'3", junior guard, Devon Cottle, 16 points per game for the Atlanta, Georgia native. Number 11, 6'6", graduate guard, Livingston Cross, 9.2 points per game from Union, New Jersey. And then number 25, 6'6", junior wing, Dallas Carball from Knoxville, Tennessee, played at Farragut High School. For Randy Casey and his ball club, Rayshawn Hampton will be number 3. He's the 5'9" sophomore guard that we mentioned, 20.9 points per game, averages 40% from both the field and behind the arc, and he hails from Winchester, Kentucky. Number 5, Ty Runyon, the 6'1" senior guard from right here in Athens, Tennessee. He will get the start at point guard. Number 12, Charles Neverton, as we mentioned, 6'2" senior guard from Baltimore, Maryland. Number 13, Corey Marshall, the 6'8" junior forward, getting the start in place of the injured Cordado. He hails from Miami, Florida. And then 34, Stratton Lavorne, another senior, 1 of 5 on this ball club, 6'7" guard/forward from Shelbyville, Tennessee. He averages 10.4 points per game for Tennessee Wesleyan. So that'll be our starting lineups as we get set for the start of this Appalachian Athletic Conference matchup. Tennessee Wesleyan home white uniforms. Tennessee Wesleyan across the chest, blue numerals trimmed in a Vegas cold number. Johnson with Johnson across the chest in dark font with a light background, but navy blue uniforms, white numerals trimmed in sky blue as the tip goes to Tennessee Wesleyan. And Runyon with it out front. Gets it to Marshall at the high post. Here's Lavorne. Looks down low to Marshall. Ball misplayed, kind of overthrown. And quickly coming away with it is going to be Johnson's Edie. They work it around the perimeter. They get it to number 4, Cottle. Wesleyan and Johnson tied in the series 5-5. So the rubber match here in this early series between the two schools. Missed jumper on the baseline there from Cross. Johnson misses their first attempt. Wesleyan will try to drop back defensively. Lavorne looked for the 3, missed it. Runyon pokes the rebound over to his teammate Marshall, and the Bulldogs will stay with it offensively on a fresh 20. Marshall takes it to the left side, trying to get it to Lavorne. He'll take another 3 this time. That one off the back iron. Runyon, another offensive board. When you're struggling with the offensive boards, you can pull it down and make it work. Here's Runyon, kicks it out. Neverdon, top of the key for 3, and it's good. Bulldogs start early with the 3 ball. Hampton going to guard full court. Lockhart with it away from the basket. Now they flip it near side to Carball. Far side, Cross going to take the 3, trying to answer, missed it. Wesleyan gives up an offensive board here to Johnson. Cottle takes the 3 and knocks us up at 3 apiece. Just under 2 minutes played. Runyon with it, gets a screen from Lavorne, maybe a moving one. Runyon step back jumper off the side of the lane is good for the senior. Just kind of faded away off the right side of the lane, made good work of it. High post feed to Lockhart. Here's another 3-point attempt by Cottle. He misses this one. Hampton collects the loose rebound. Behind the back dribble, gets past 2 defenders. Just inside the 15-foot line, and that one spins down and out for Hampton. Nearly pokes the ball away from Edie. They work it left side for the ball. They call out the signal. Coach Sharp back standing on his sideline. Coach Casey standing up. Lockhart gets the ball out front, guarded there by Marshall. Hands it off to cutting Cross. Cross drives left side. Runyon, good straight-up defense. Johnson comes flying in to tie it up. The ball knocks down that putback. Second time we've been tied up. Women's game earlier saw 4 ties and 6 lead changes. Here's Marshall off the dribble, taking Lockhart, drops it to cutting Runyon. Runyon goes up. There's the foul call. Just took a minute. But Wesleyan gets that one. Runyon going to go to the strike for 2. This one's going to be on Garrison Edie. It's his first, team first. So Runyon stepping to the line. Makes the first one. Wesleyan does struggle at the free throw line, but Runyon, one of those Bulldogs averaging close to 77%. Wesleyan back in front, 6-5. Runyon converting both. 7-5. Full court pressure shown by the Bulldogs here. It's going to be Edie to get it across the line. Bulldogs improving their free throw percentage. They've hit 80 in the last 3 games. See if they can keep that going today. Johnson coming off their worst at 60%. Lockhart, baseline fadeaway jumper missed. Lavorne skying to get the rebound. Couldn't get it. Hampton strips Cross on the way up. Hampton gets the steal. Drops it back behind him to Runyon. Runyon nearly ran over, and he is. Second foul on the Royals. Carball gets his first foul. Runyon's going to have it side inbounds on the far sideline. Wesleyan, 7-5 lead right now. Hampton, shot clock down to 20. There's Hampton, goes all the way in. Layup on the left side is good for Rayshawn Hampton. Hampton puts them up by 4, largest lead of the game. Johnson answers back with a 2 of their own. So that's that lead down. Again, both teams averaging 80 points per game. Won't be surprised if we hit 90 or 100 tonight. Here's a miss by Neverdon up top of the key. He was 1 for 1 from behind the arc, missing that one. Lockhart down low against Marshall. Moving the feet, gets stuck. Good help defense from Runyon. Lavorne straight up on the three-point shooter. Lockhart sent Marshall to the ground and no whistle, but Hampton gets called for the foul here on the putback as Marshall just took a dive to the floor. Looking at the official for the call, couldn't get it. So J.J. Ruckert coming to the scorer's table, the junior guard / forward from Atlanta, Georgia, had the windmill dunk against Bryan on Saturday that got the fans up on their feet. Lockhart misses the first one. He shoots 67% from the line. So Ruckert will come in and replace Lavorne. Lockhart taking his time at the line. Wesleyan up 9-7. Makes the second one, so it's a 1-point game. Just under 5 minutes played thus far. Hampton nearly loses the handle, stays with it. Keeps that low, impressive dribble. Getting a pass over to Marshall away from the basket, keeping Lockhart out of that middle of that paint. Hard, good screen by Marshall. Step back 3 for Runyon. It's in there. Ty Runyon puts it back to a 4-point advantage. He's got 5 early points already. And Marshall's going to pick up a foul here for the Bulldogs, team's second. Runyon pacing the Bulldogs here early, 12-8, and we've got our first media timeout here from James L. Robb with the Bulldogs up 4. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
WJSQ Athens.
Back here from Dwayne Farmer and Stan Harrison Court, two NAIA Hall of Famers. Coach Farmer in '86, Coach Harrison in 2019, the latest inducted from Tennessee Wesleyan, joining Jack Bowling and Bobby Davis, 1990 and class of 2014. Wesleyan nearly gets the steal out of the media timeout. Johnson with the ball out front. Jamar Brown with it, guarded by Hampton. Gets a screen from Lockhart to the left side. Brown takes the jumper from 15 feet, and Hampton's going to pick up quick early foul, second one. And that's going to bring Sean McGee to the scorer's table, replacing Hampton. McGee just under 9 points a game and under 4.5 rebounds per game from Columbus, Ohio. As it will be Jamar Brown stepping to the line, 82.4% shooter on the season. He's got 2 shots, makes the first one. Makes it 12-9. Wesleyan still in front by 3. We've been knotted up at 3 and 5, so twice tied, but Wesleyan keeping that lead right now. Second free throw up for Brown, and that one's nothing but net. 1 possession game. Full court press being shown by the Royals. McGee gets the inbounds, uses the dribble, gets bumped there, and that one's an easy call. Number 13, Maytal Escamilla Martin. Escamilla really upset with that call, but that was easy for the official to make. Runyon now getting no pressure in the backcourt, going to bring it up the floor. He's kind of guarded there by Brown, picks him up at midcourt. High screen from Marshall. Runyon blocked inside. It goes out of bounds off of Johnson. Looked like a lot of contact with the body against Runyon, but he cannot get the foul call. So Neverdon will inbound it underneath. Lockhart gardening. Bounce pass into Marshall. Marshall looking for help. Dribbles it on the baseline past his defender. Ruckert back to Marshall. Far corner for 3. Missed it. And a foul on McGee for Wesleyan. So Bulldogs getting into some foul trouble here. That's the first on McGee. 4th on the Bulldogs. Royals 3 of their own, though. Brown running the point. Full court press. Stepping in, McGee gets the steal. 3 on 2. Ruckert back to McGee. Gets the steal and gets fed the assist. 4-point lead once again for the Bulldogs. 14-10. Backcourt, Wesleyan defending it very well. Lockhart stuck at the line. Now he finds an open Brown in the corner. Brown with it. Now Ruckert gets the steal. He's going to get cut off there by Strozier. Misses the layup, but he'll get 2 shots. Jacoby Strozier is going to pick up his first, team 4th. He's a senior guard out of Atlanta, Georgia as well. Coach Sharp heading down to Atlanta to pick up several key players. So Ruckert at the line. JJ 50% on the season, makes the first one. 5-point advantage for Tennessee Wesleyan. Still early in this one. 13.5 to play in the first half. Zaylin Callahan checks in for Tennessee Wesleyan. Ruckert misses the second one. Zaylin Callahan, the senior guard out of Powder Springs, Georgia. He'll pick up the ball handler and Brown. Working from the Bulldog logo at midcourt. Brown swings it right side over to Cottle. Feed inside, and they're going to get a foul on either Marshall or Ruckert. It's going to be the second on Corey Marshall. Lavorne coming back in. And our halftime guest, we talked about it, Manny Corrado from the women's game. He's the big presence inside. We're kind of missing. Wesleyan's missing him right now. Blocked out of bounds by Lavorne on the inbounds. Uses his length, but also his jumping ability to swat that one to the brick wall. Lockhart catches the inbounds pass, shovel pass down low to Strozier. Blocked by Ruckert. Lavorne ends up with the rebound. Good defensive stand on the inbound right there for the Bulldogs. Callahan, far corner, brings it to the middle of the lane, misses the shot. So the Bulldogs cannot answer off of the defensive stop. Lockhart moving on the screen, no call. Baseline, trying to get it down there to him. They do. He spins baseline. Triple team. Escamilla Martin gets bailed out with a late whistle. Thought the foul was there before the shot, but this one's going to be on Lavorne. His first. The 6th already on the Bulldogs, and we're not even midway through the first half. 12:45 to go. Another Spaniard. Escamilla Martin takes the free throw, transferred from St. Andrews as that former conference team. He makes the first free throw. They cease closed operations over there, not in the EAC anymore. Second one is good as well, so it's 15-12, 3-point game. Bulldogs trying to get it going offensively without their leading scorer, Hampton, sitting on the bench with 2 fouls. Almost 21 points a game sitting over there. Cordado with 8 points a game and 7 rebounds a game. Big miss as well, and Barber as well, who's injured. Callahan drops it out to Neverdon. Neverdon didn't think about the three, he drilled it from there earlier. 4 to shoot. Callahan step back, gets it to Lavorne. 15-footer. Lavorne in and out. That one goes. Good look off the pick and roll with the shot clock winding down. Ruckert picking up in the half court. Trying to pick up Cottle. Brown fires a three at the top of the key. Missed it. Neverdon hit the deck on the rebound. Got shoved. No whistle there. Here's Cottle. Far side. Missed the three. Callahan picks it up. Neither team shooting very well at all. Jamar Brown's going to pick up his first, team 5th. So a lot of fouls, 10 total fouls, or 11 total fouls already. Wesleyan shooting 38%, Johnson 25% from the floor. Again, both of these teams are 1 and 2 at 46 to 47% from the field in the season so far. McGee with it, gets a screen from Ruckert. Crosses up his defender, lost the handle on it, and Lockhart sends it out of bounds straight to his coach, who tries to plead the case that that was going Johnson's way, but Lockhart, the last man to touch it. Johnson got the skyline of Knoxville. They're in the North Knoxville area, right above the Johnson swatch on their jerseys. Here's Callahan driving, draws the foul on the shot, hits the deck hard, but he's back to his feet quickly. Jamar Brown going to pick up his second. Team 6th. So the next foul for either team will send the other one to the bonus for 1-and-1. Coach Casey pulling a couple of his guys back to talk to him. Work through this one. Callahan short on the first free throw. Be Edie returning for Johnson. He'll replace Brown with the 2 fouls. Callahan misses both free throws. Again, Wesleyan, the worst shooting free throw team in the conference, but have averaged 80 the last 3 games, so it's trended upward. Far side, Rozier with it. It goes out of bounds off of Wesleyan. Runyon coming back to the scorer's table. He'll quickly check in for Neverdon. Johnson to inbound it far side. Get it in to R.J. Gorley. Now still by Ruckert. Ruckert going up. Gets the layup attempt, but no make, so he'll get 2 free throws. Couldn't get enough separation to create a high-flying dunk right there, but Gorley's going to check in and pick up his first foul. So J.J. Ruckert at the line. Once again, went 1 for 2 there a moment ago. That one, nothing but net there. Nice high arcing shot, 11-11 to play. 4-point lead, 16-12. Tennessee Wesleyan men currently in a tie for first in the conference standings. Ruckert makes both of them. 5-point advantage, ties that largest lead so far. Lockhart hands it off. Drive here by Strozier, missed it. Ruckert and McGee collect the rebound together. McGee gets the clear out from Ruckert. Gets it to a cutting Ruckert, and he's tripped up pretty hard. The player looks, Gorley looking for why he was called for the foul, but it went for the ball and grabbed the shoelaces. Ruckert gonna go back to the line for a 1-and-1 now. Cross back in for Johnson. He'll replace Gorley with the 2 fouls. So Ruckert, deep breath, misses the first one. Lockhart gets the rebound. Walking it up the floor is going to be Garrison Eady. Runyon picks him up at midcourt. Picks up the dribble. Here's a drive by Strozier. Layup is good and the bucket. Another Bulldog going to end up with a foul. This one's going to be Sean McGee's going to pick up his second. So the bucket count, 17-14, 10:33 to play. Strozier at the line. McGee will exit. Neverdon back in for the Bulldogs here. Playing with that face shield. Protecting upper part of his face there. 3-point play is successful. 2-point game. 10:33 to play in the half. Middle of the floor, Neverdon gets it. Bulldogs had numbers momentarily. Neverdon goes up against Lockhart. Missed it. Rebound pulled down by the Royals. Long pass up to Lockhart. Lockhart traveled with it. But they're going to get the foul on Callahan. Looked like Lockhart was trying to catch himself under the goal, but the foul will be Callahan's first, team 8th. Mason Lockhart to the stripe, 67% shooter, 16 of 24. Featuring one red and one blue sneaker. Some bright shoes for Johnson as Lockhart makes the first one. It's a 1-point game, 17-16. Last conference game of the month for the Bulldogs as they will play a couple of exhibition games, paycheck games coming up. Lockhart knots us up at 17 all. Third time we have been tied up. Johnson with full court press shown on Tennessee Wesleyan. They drift back pretty quickly. Runyon into the front court from the NAIA logo. Lavorne set a couple of screens from him. Runyon looking for help, gets it out to Lavorne. Neverdon with it. Guarded tightly there by Cross. Finds Runyon open in the near corner. Drives into the middle of the paint. Euro step around the defender and tie Runyon with a big bucket. Fought through a lot of contact and gets the score. Now his player out of bounds. Goes the ball as Wesleyan did a good job of locking down Edie right there. Runyon step for step with him. Edie felt like he got tripped, but Runyon, good defense right there. Neverdon out, and we've got a full timeout on the court. Bulldogs lead it by 2, 19-17. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Back here from James L. Robb Gymnasium, President Robb, facility named after him, and decent crowd on hand. We know we got McMinn County playing their Thanksgiving Classic across the way. We'll try to bring score updates if we got any. Meigs County playing right now against Knox West, up 48-47. Those Tiger fans. Here's a steal by the Royals, going in for the layup and the score to knot us up at 19 all. Strozier. Wesleyan out of the timeout break and did not do what they needed to do. Jack Armstrong, number 30, in, the freshman forward from Taylorsville, Kentucky, in for the Bulldogs. A little post presence. Neverdon's jumper missed. Lavorne had the rebound, couldn't get it. Ball on the ground. Several players going diving for it. Runyon, Armstrong hit the deck, but it'll go out of bounds off of Wesleyan. Armstrong out. Ruckert back in. Lockhart back in. So Johnson with the ball. Edie with it, guarded by Runyon. Edie from Murfreesboro, played at Blackman High School. Powerhouse down there in a lot of athletics. Here's Strozier working against Callahan, far side. Carball left wide open for three, missed it. Ball tipped up. Ruckert able to collect it, and then it's poked away from behind. Runyon defended well down low to Strozier. They couldn't get an easy bucket, now making them work for it. Carball missed the three, now he'll send it back around the horn. Backing his way down against Runyon is Strozier. Steps through, Ruckert helped defense, ball up. Carball gets the rebound. Putback is good, and Johnson has their first lead at 21-19. 8:10 to go here in the first half. Callahan with it out front. Drops it to Neverdon. Has cross right on him. Ruckert passes up the three. Backdoor cut by Runyon, poked out of bounds. It's 12 to shoot. Coach Casey calling out the signals here for the Bulldogs. Didn't run the right offensive play, it sounds like. Lavorne gets the inbounds. Neverdon gets fouled, and that was an easy call. Coach Sharp not disagreeing with that one a bit, as Livingston Cross is going to pick up his first, team ninth. And that's going to send Charles Neverdon to the line. 60% shooter on the season for Tennessee Wesleyan. Bulldogs tied at the top with Pikeville, both 4-0. Milligan at 2-0 in the conference, and then Johnson and Reinhardt at 1-1. So Milligan, with the one less game played, be in that third spot. Neverdon makes the front end of the 1-1. Still trailing 21-20. Second one rolls off the left side of the rim. Edie trying to go coast to coast, flips it out to Cross, back to Edie on the baseline. Royals will bring it out front. Edie will reset. 7:42 to go, and it's a 1-point advantage for Johnson. The drive, Cross fights through a lot of contact, makes the bucket. 3-point lead for the Royals, their largest of the ball game. Runyon going in strong. No whistle either side of the contact. Lockhart clears out Runyon with an elbow. Down low, Cross gets the lay-in, and it's a 5-point advantage for the Royals. Fast break. Ties the largest lead for both teams. Runyon took a shot to the nose off of the Lockhart rebound. Runyon back up now. It'll be Wesleyan's ball, 7-17, 5-point deficit now. Again, that 1-4 record is deceiving for Johnson. They've lost to Dalton State, 80-70, Ave Maria, 89-82, Cumberland's 96-84, and Pikeville, 84-75. They beat Columbia in the conference, and that's been it. So they played some strong teams. Here's a drive, reverse lay-in. Johnson misses it. Ball out of bounds off of Wesleyan. Bulldogs turning it over left and right here. Cannot get set up offensively against this Johnson team. Timeout called by Coach Sharp for Johnson with 6:57 to play. Johnson in front of Tennessee Wesleyan, 25-20. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Back in 30. So Johnson called the 30-second timeout. They sit down on the sideline. Official finally gets them up, but both horns sounding. Wesleyan huddled up, and Coach Casey chance to maybe get his Bulldogs aligned here, trailing 25-20. They led by 5 2 different times, but Johnson took the lead with 8:10 to play in the quarter. It's 6:56 now. Cross takes the inbounds down to the low block. Runyon right there with him. Runyon just takes it away from him on the baseline. Up to Callahan. Callahan sidesteps a defender, blocked at the rim. Runyon fighting for the ball. Johnson comes away with it. So both teams having it taken away from them. Edey lost it. Here's Ruckert. 3-on-1 break. Callahan fakes the pass. Layup is good, and the foul. Some ugly basketball, but it works out for Tennessee Wesleyan, as the foul is going to be on Devon Cottle, his first team 10th. 6:32 to play, and Zaylen Callahan made the motion like he and Ruckert were going to combine for the alley-oop that took the defender off of him, and smart play, fakes the pass as he's floating through the air and goes up. The defender trying to catch up, commits the foul. Ruckert comes flying in. Thought he got the offensive board, but on the missed free throw. Wesleyan 2-2-1 or 2-1-2 press set up right here. Brown back in the ballgame with 2 fouls for Johnson. He'll get the pass back across the time stripe from Carball. Far side cross with it. Lob down to Lockhart. Ruckert blocks him from behind. Runyon takes a shot as he gets the rebound. He'll push it up the pace and then dribbles it off his own foot. Drive by Brown. Walks with it, but Wesleyan's going to bail him out with the foul. As it looks like a couple of players jawing away from the play. Chippy action already here in the Appalachian Athletic Conference. Tilt between 2 of the top scoring teams that have struggled to score. So Callahan picks up his second foul, team 9th. And Jamar Brown will step to the line. 3-point lead, 25-22 for the Royals. Misses the front end of that one. Lockhart's going to get a breather. I believe it was him and Ruckert kind of talking back and forth, exchanging pleasantries, and Coach Sharp pulls his guy out real quick. Second free throw is good. 4-point game, 26-22. 6 minutes to play. Callahan calling out the signals. Works to the right side, hands it off to Runyon. A little 3-man weave at the top of the key. LeVorn setting the screen, dropping it to him in the paint. Baseline to Ruckert, going up. Draws the shooting foul. He was going to try to dunk it, but couldn't do it. This one's going to be on 25, Dallas Carball. And Ruckert just got teed up for talking to the other team's bench and making faces. So it's going to be Brown to shoot the free throws on the other end for Johnson. Ruckert's still got 2 free throws coming his way. So Brown at the line, 82% shooter on the season. He's got 5 points. Makes the first one, so motion's running wild here. 5-point deficit. Second one for Brown is in there, 28-22, 6-point advantage. The largest for either team. Now Ruckert's going to shoot them. He's got 2 free throws coming his way. Both coaching staffs trying to calm the emotions down here. So Ruckert back to the line. First one is good. Got the heart rate calmed down enough that he could make that one. Second one is short. Rebound comes down to Johnson. Brown clears it out, working against Callahan. Both teams in the double bonus. 5.5 to go in the first. Wanting to get it down to Lockhart. Wesleyan tried to help out. Lockhart travels with it, went to spin. Nobody was there to bounce off of. And Wesleyan made a good move defensively there. So Lavorne's going to key it in to Runyon. Under 5.5 we go. Runyon working against Brown. Callahan trying to get free. Defender holding him. Neverdon gets it. Neverdon working against Cross. Lavorne, step back 3 from Neverdon, missed it. Lavorne hits the deck. No call on the rebound. Wesleyan another missed opportunity. Instead, 4 for Cottle is knocking down the 3 in the far corner. Wesleyan losing track of the sharpshooter. They trail by 8 now. 31-23, largest deficit of the ball game. Johnson fans chanting the defense. Neverdon takes a 3 and he's missed several. Still can't get a rebound either offensively. Johnson setting up the half court. They've gotten 3 offensive rebounds. 2 of 8 now from behind the arc. Cottle goes back to back and he starts talking too. And Coach Randy Casey has seen enough. His ball club needs a timeout, trailing by 11 with 4:28 to play and timeout on the court. We'll be back in 60 seconds, back in 60.
WJSQ.
Score update. Of course, we've been home to the Vol Network here on WJSQ. Tennessee beats Houston 76-73. Appreciate my buddy Kenny Benton for updating that score for me. Meigs County and Knox West going down to the wire over in the Holiday Classic at McMinn County High School. Still 4 more days of basketball for fans to get out there and watch. But 4:28 here. Wesleyan with Ruckert, Runyon with the ball, Callahan, Armstrong, and Neverdon out there against this tough Johnson Royals team. Armstrong away from the basket, keeping his dribble alive, gets it to Ruckert. Ruckert getting fouled. Easy call for the official there as Escamilla Martin was all over him. His second, and that's going to send Ruckert back to the line. He's been at the line several times tonight. 50% shooting for the team, 7 of 14. Ruckert 4 of 7. Makes the first one here. 34-24, cuts the lead down to 10. Hampton coming back here for the Bulldogs. He'll replace Callahan. Again, the 2 early fouls by the reigning conference player of the week, offensive player of the week, 2-time player of the week. Ruckert misses the second free throw, so the Bulldogs will have to try to get under double digits next trip. Brown with it, Hampton guarding him. Lockhart Setting a screen now for Cottle. Cottle's knocked down a couple of big threes. Ruckert comes from behind and blocks it, but the offensive rebound is cleared and put back by Cross. Wesleyan did a good job a couple of times now of crashing the board to get the block, but then not crashing the board to get the rebound. Got to get the rebound column up going. Here's Runyon off the left side of the lane. A smooth jumper from the seniors knocks it back down to a 10-point game. 3:36 to play. Runyon with it. Brown with it. Runyon guarding him. Now it's Strozier with it, guarded by Hampton. Far side Cross from the corner. Pump fake, three-pointer, no good. Pushed in the back, no call. It's another offensive set for the Royals. Up and under, layup, no good. Lockhart's tip back, no good. Comes out of there somehow. Armstrong battling for it. Possession arrow will keep it to Johnson's end of the floor. Callahan coming right back in. He'll replace Neverdon. 3:06 to play. 36-26 our score. Strozier trying to lace up the sneaker. Johnson set the inbound it from Cross. Gets it into Cottle, blocked by Ruckert. Good defense. Ruckert just flying all over the court here this evening. Runyon gets a screen from Armstrong, pick and roll. Runyon takes it up, reverse layup from the left to the right, no good. Runyon hit the deck, he's going to trail the play. Hampton instead plays free safety on a bad pass from Johnson. So they get the turnover right back. Ruckert with the ball, lost it, regains it, looking for help. Clears it out to Runyon, now to Hampton. 15 to shoot, 2.5 to play. First half action. High screen from Armstrong for Hampton. Hampton cut off, step back three for the lefty, off the back iron. Long rebound chased down by Callahan, a fresh 20. Callahan left wide open. He'll go in, challenge Lockhart, and gets called for the foul. Good job by Zaylen Callahan. Turned around, ready to set up the offense, and the lane was standing completely wide open for him. Smart play for the senior from Powder Springs, Georgia. Went in, Lockhart tried to challenge him and brought the arms down and gets called for an easy foul. So Zaylen Callahan has not spent much time at the charity stripe this season. First free throw is good. 36-27, 9-point deficit, 2:15 to play in the half. Again, these teams average 80 apiece. McGee checks in for Ruckert. Callahan converts both of them. Good free throw shooting. Just need some more stops here from the Bulldogs. Royals bring it across, get it to Lockhart, middle of the floor. Now from the AAC logo on the left wing, it's Cross. He'll swing it to the right. Now back to the left it comes to Cross. Cross misses the shot, but gets his own rebound. Wesleyan got to find a body. Got to get a box out somewhere on the defensive glass. McGee with it, gets it to Hampton. Hampton guarded closely by Strozier. Pump fake, got his defender in the air. Little spinning hook shot, no good. And it spins off. Wesleyan's had a lot of good looks, but just struggling to get some shots to fall. Shooting under 35%. Jumper by Strozier is good, and it's a 12-point lead once again, 40-29. Or correction, it's 11-point game. 1:20 to go. Armstrong drops it to Hampton. Hampton gets it to McGee around the top of the key. McGee getting grabbed a lot by Strozier. Ball loose, no foul call. Hampton going up, cannot commit the foul and gives up the easy lay-in. Jamar Brown scores with 60 seconds to play in the half. 14-point advantage, the largest of the ball game for either team. Armstrong with it out front. Dribbles it. Ball comes flying to the scorer's table. Clock's got to stop. Clock didn't stop, but .42-4, they'll say. Callahan's going to be the guy to key it in. 13 on the shot clock. Armstrong and McGee on the right side of the lane. Got Runyon in the near corner. Far corner is Hampton. Callahan keying it in. Gets it into McGee. 12 to shoot. Armstrong sets a screen. McGee going in, gets bumped. That was an easy call. Johnson faithful here don't like it, but when the defender bumps you off of your lane that you're going on, that's an easy signal. So Sean McGee going to go to the stripe. Chance to try to cut back into this 14-point deficit. 42-28, 31.9 remaining. First free throw for McGee is good. McGee's second one is in there. 12-point game. Wesleyan knocks it out of bounds to the side. That full court pressure. Now they're trying to see if the ball was touched, at least a second coming off the shot clock. Maybe is what they're. 29 on the shot clock is exactly what they do. Game clock would have to come off to 31 even probably, but they're going to go to 29. 31 on the game clock, and then see if they can get it to 29 on the shot clock. Yep, there we go. .9 the official says, but on the game clock now they're set to go. It's taking a little bit to get that going. Cross to inbound it. Gets it into Brown. Callahan right there with him. Callahan trying to cut him off. Travel the call right in front of Coach Sharp. He didn't like it. A good job by Callahan to apply pressure, back off a little bit, and then force the turnover. Brown hit the deck right in front of the scorer's table and went down with the ball. So 26.1 remaining, no shot clock. Actually, yeah, the shot clock will go to 20 in the half court. Edey coming back in. He'll replace Brown. So Hampton into the backcourt, throws it to McGee. Wesleyan will try to run this down at least as much as they can before taking a shot. Armstrong pick and roll. McGee doesn't use it. Double team, top of the key. Hampton wide open for three. In there for Rashawn Hampton. 5 seconds to go. It's a 9-point game. Strozier at the buzzer misses off the front of the rim. And the Bulldogs down by as many as 14 after leading it by 5 early in the half. Have started to chip away at this Johnson lead. But it is Tennessee Wesleyan trailing at the half 42-33 against the visiting Royals in a battle of some of the top scorers in the Appalachian Athletic Conference. So again, telling you the halftime score before we take a 2-minute break. Wesleyan trailing 42-33. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Back in 2. back here at halftime of the men's game against Johnson, and unfortunately it's going the opposite way the women's game was going early. It's Johnson up 42-33. They've led by as many as 14 with a minute to go in this half, but Bulldogs finally starting to chip back into it. Rashawn Hampton knocking down a three there with 5 seconds left to cut it under double digits for the first time in quite a few minutes. But Bulldogs and the Royals, both of them score 80 points per game, so expect it to be back and forth and very physical from here on out. We're pleased to be joined by head coach of the Lady Bulldogs, Jason Smith, who comes out with a big victory over Johnson today. And Coach, one, it's a win against a guy that you are very familiar with, and Coach Lawhon at Johnson that was with you at Bryan and then took over for you at Bryan. But obviously there's some players that know each other. There's a lot of dynamics, but what a crazy game that one was. You're up by double digits there in the, let's see, well, you lead by 23 towards the end of the third quarter, and then it gets cut down to a 5-point game, and just was a weird fourth quarter for you all, but you get the win and a big conference win.
Yeah, thank you, Jared. Our girls played really well for at least 3 quarters and maybe a little bit more than that, We executed great in the first half, and our girls just played hard. I mean, the first half is probably as good as we've defended all year long, so I was really proud of them, and, they stepped up. I know there's a couple kids that played for Johnson, Sloan and Tally that, were really motivated tonight to have good games, and Tally got a couple quick fouls in the first half, but she came back second half and hit some big threes. And then, Sloan, what are you going to say about Sloan tonight? 18 points, 12 boards. And, she controlled the tempo, and she was amazing tonight. And, I'm happy for her for having a great game. And, our freshmen and sophomores are really stepping up, and I'm proud of them. And it's great to get a win against Johnson going into Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, talking to Sloan after the game, had the double-double. I think the 18 points is nice, and that's great, but the 12 rebounds from her and kind of in that – kind of plays a 1-2 guard, I guess, for you. But I told her I felt like there on at least one end of the floor, it felt like she was flying to the rim and the backboard every time a shot went up and was pulling down some very strong rebounds.
Yeah, she was, and obviously the stat that you don't see that she did was how her defense was, too.
Yes.
Tonight she was stellar defensively, especially when she was guarding Jordan Hefner, which is her best player. She did a great job on Jordan, and so we moved her off of her a few times just to try to make sure that she didn't get any foul trouble because we needed her on the floor. But Sloan had a career night, and our girls just played really well tonight.
You talked about it, Hefner. I think y'all seemed to frustrate Hefner down the line, down to the wire there a little bit. She was kind of their go-to person, but just kind of frustrated her on both ends, and she committed a couple of quick fouls that put y'all at the line where you spent the entire fourth quarter at the charity stripe.
Yeah, I think that fourth quarter lasted like 50, 60 minutes possibly. It just kept going and going and going, and it was a little nerve-wracking because we didn't quite make as many as we probably should. I mean, we've been typically a really good foul shooting team, and if we make 4 or 5 more, that game's gets over in about 20 minutes shorter.
Yeah, you were number 1 in the conference coming into tonight.
Yeah.
You have 79.1 as your team average, and that's best in the conference. And by my count and based on what I could gather from the stats here, 20 points in the fourth quarter that y'all scored, but all of them coming at the charity stripe. No field goals.
That's
made
insane, right?
In the fourth quarter.
I don't know if I've ever done that before. We shot 40 free throws.
Yeah.
And it just kept going and going. And they just kept fouling and fouling. So, but
I know we've talked a little bit. This is our first radio broadcast this season, but talking to you on some online games here. Cameron Brown and Jordan White continue to be impressive as young guards for you. And Cameron was knocking down some shots, it felt like, and Jordan White just continues to really kind of control coming in that backup point guard role for you.
Well, Jordan's fun to watch.
Yes,
I mean, she's a true point guard that is just hard to keep in front sometimes, and she handles the ball so well, and she's sneaky and she'll make great passes. She's made some great passes this year already, and it's hard to keep her off the floor. I know she missed a couple free throws, or 4 free throws, I think, so I had to get her off the floor for that. But it's so when you have Sloan and Jordan on the floor together, which we've been doing, our ball handling is really good. We're taking care of the basketball, and those two facilitate a lot that we're doing. But Cameron has been playing great. So we had 3 freshmen and a sophomore lead us in scoring tonight, and that tells you a lot about where we're at and where we're going. And then I think what did Julie end up with?
Julia had 7, but Tally had 11, and Leslie had 12. So you had 5 in double figures.
Yeah, and you know, I can't say enough about Julia too. You know, she's not scoring a ton of points, but what she's doing, you know, defensively, facilitating some of her offense well. That kid's having a great sophomore year as well.
Looks like she's developed her game inside and maybe the system that you run. I can see here early, it looks like just being aware of everything else around her has developed a little bit. But is that anything that you've tried to instill in her to work on down there?
I would like to take some credit, but I'm not for sure that's always true. You know, she worked on her game this summer a little bit. She was in great shape. So she came into camp or the season in great shape and really got after and worked on her game. And she kind of knew that, you know, her role was going to go up. And so she kind of expected that, which was great. And she bought into it. And, you know, I'm happy for her because the work she's put in, it's starting to pay off, right?
Obviously, you're still without one of the best players in the conference in Jalea Lindsay here early. But this team has really rallied together, it seems, without her on the floor for 2 games now and playing hard. What has she maybe provided maybe on the bench as a coach, player coach, or any insight she's helping these younger players out as well? And she's a young player herself.
Yeah, she's young herself. You know, she was, averaging 16, 17 a game when she got hurt. So, but our girls have stepped up. They really have. They've decided, you know, we're going to have to fill her role, and Cam Brown's been a big part of that. Leslie's been a big part of that. But, you know, Jalea, her character is so high and her integrity is so high that I think our girls don't want to disappoint her, you know what I'm saying? Because they know how hard she worked. Because Jalea had a great offseason, and honestly, she put some more tools in her tool belt. And she's a better basketball player now than she was last year. And so
it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. And so I think they know she doesn't have to say a lot, Jared, you know, because they know she's just kind of leads silently, and they kind of don't really want to disappoint her.
I'm telling you, just the way this team has played and a lot of the newcomers, they're fun to watch. And now you get a week off before you get the Thanksgiving holiday. You don't play again until the 3rd against Montreat. We'll have that broadcast as well on WJSQ and local radio. But what does the team look like for the next week? How do you manage the holiday with them and getting them out of the turkey coma maybe?
Yeah, that's the hardest thing, right? You know, it's great. It's a great time for a break for us because we've been going hard since we got to school, and physically, mentally, they need it. They need a break. It's good for that they're with family. You know, I've always preached, you know, we're a family.
Yep.
And so I've really made a point of not playing over Thanksgiving. I know a lot of teams do, but I think our players need to be with their families, right? Family is important. And what I see when it happens is they get back home and they get recharged a little bit. They spend some time with some loved ones. And then it's easier to focus when we come back Monday because you gave them a win, right? You gave them something that they look forward to. And so you don't really have to do a lot, you know, especially coming off a win like this. I think we're not going to have to do a lot to motivate them. At least that's my hope, I guess.
We'll see if it pays off next week.
Yeah.
So obviously big plans for the Thanksgiving. Are you fixing the turkey? What are we doing in the Smith household? Who's in charge of the menu and the fixings?
Well, mostly my wife, right? So she does an amazing job. She learns, because when we moved away from family years ago, you know, it was her mom and my mom used to do all the cooking. But when we moved away from family, she just picked it all up, you know. So we all got all the family recipes. So she'll cook a big spread. And, you know, we'll see. We'll be missing one of our kids. My son Jonas goes to Kansas State.
In the marching band,
He's
right?
in the marching band. It's unbelievable. So he's living his best life out in Manhattan, Kansas. But so we won't have Jonas with us, but we'll have the rest of my kids with me. So 4 other kids we'll have with us. And we're going to just spend some time, you know, playing some games together. Hopefully the weather's good. We might go out and do some hiking. Just spend some time together because it's hard during basketball. To spend time with your family. And then I'll do a little recruiting because there's some holiday tournaments around. So I'll get out and do some recruiting and hopefully get recharged myself.
That sounds like a plan, and there's some even happening across town, and everybody does holiday tournaments everywhere now, it seems, at the high school level. So, but a chance to recharge, I think, is going to be
no doubt,
a big thing.
Yeah, you know, it was kind of I'll be honest, it was a tough few days, you know, playing Brian on Saturday, and then playing in Johnson, coaching against one of my best friends. So very stressful week in many ways. I tried to downplay it as much as possible, but it's hard because there's a lot of connections and emotions to both of those games for me.
Well, y'all battled through all of it. Revenge game or not for certain players in different uniforms that could be thrown out there, but Lady Bulldogs handled business here on Thanksgiving week, and we look forward to seeing you next week after the turkey comas have worn off. So.
Yeah, I'm excited. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving, Jared, with you and your family. All right?
You too. Thanks,
Thank you.
Coach. Coach Smith with his team, and they're going to take a break and needed time off here in the holiday week as they will not play. The men, on the other hand, are Tennessee Wesleyan. They'll play, as I mentioned a few moments earlier, they are going to play at UT Chattanooga and Tennessee State, and those are a couple of exhibition games playing against the NCAA teams, so they will get not as much of a break as the women of Tennessee Wesleyan will, but always great to chat with Coach Jason Smith, and as he alluded to, he tried to downplay it all week, but it is emotional when you go up against a opponent and a coach that you're very familiar with and feels like family all together. And so they handle business here against Johnson at home after nearly letting the lead slip. But we're at halftime here. The men of Tennessee Wesleyan trailing Johnson 42-33. Let's take a 60-second break, and then we'll be back for the start of the second half. Back in 60 seconds.
WJSQ Athens.
Back here from James L. Robb Gymnasium, Bulldogs and the Royals getting set to get this second half started. Bulldogs trailing 42-33. We'll get some first half stats for you. Tennessee Wesleyan men, forget to the right numbers. Tennessee Wesleyan struggling. They had the lead up until 9:30 or 8:10 left in the first half. As a team, they're shooting 34.6% from the field. Johnson, 41%. Behind the arc, 30%, 3 of 10, 27% for Johnson. Wesleyan turns it over on their first offensive possessions as Marshall tried to feed it down to Lavorne. Getting out rebounded 30-12 in the first half. That's huge right there for the Bulldogs. So Johnson with the ball, up by 9 points. Hand it off. They get it on the wing to Carball. He spent some time on the bench with 2 fouls in the first half. Lockhart with it down low, gets it back to the basket, shoving Marshall off of him. Three-pointer up and out. It goes. Another foul. No over-the-back call in the game, but Cross getting push against Lavorne. Here's Hampton. Gets all the way to the rim and scores quickly for the Bulldogs on the left side. Minute played. It's a 7-point game. 42-35. Tennessee Wesleyan trying to battle back in this one. Got a foul underneath, and this one's going to be on Marshall. Him and Lockhart locking arms, and Marshall trying to plead his case that he gets locked up with that one. So 3 fouls for Corey Marshall. Bounce pass comes in and blocked. Cross shoved Lavorne on the rebound as Lavorne got the block. Runyon picks up the loose ball. Bounces it out to Hampton. Hampton wanting to get it down to Marshall to work against Lockhart. High screen coming. Marshall rolls. Hampton running floater. doesn't get the home bounce. Lockhart will clear out the defensive board. He'll work it up to Edie, now to Lockhart, far side. It's Carball with it. Cross, quick crossover. Euro step through the lane, Lavorne right there with him. Wesleyan had it defended out of bounds. It goes on the box out to Tennessee Wesleyan. Good heads up play there by the Bulldogs. Lavorne gets the inbound to Hampton. Hampton across the Bulldog logo, working against Cross. Marshall, top of the key, gets it to Cutting Lavorne. Sky hook, no good. Still trying to find a easy bucket for the Bulldogs. Trailing Cross, blocked by Runyon. Gets his own putback though, and it's good. Wesleyan again, mentioned it, getting out rebounded 30-12 in the first half. A lot of ground to make up. 9-point game, 44-35, Wesleyan trailing. Drive by Marshall. Layup on the left side. Lockhart defended it well, straight up. Marshall tried to create the reverse lay-in. Not a true reverse. Came set on the left side. Ruckert coming to the scorer's table. Carball takes a three, missed it. Offensive rebound again, and Cross right there for another easy lay-in. Found by Cottle. Rebounding issues starting to plague Wesleyan. They're one of the worst, next to last in the league in rebounds per game. Johnson middle of the pack at 8. Wesleyan turns it over in their own front court. Possession arrow will give it to Johnson. Ruckert and McGee coming back in. They'll replace Lavorne and Neverdon. 46-35. Edie with it near the midcourt stripe. Hampton right there on him. Catching on the far side. Cottle with it. Little shoulder shake. Now he'll drive baseline on the left. Fadeaway jumper turning, and it's good for Devon Cottle. Pushes it to a 13-point game. Quickly, Hampton scores in transition. Cuts it back to an 11-point game. High post. Lockhart now behind the arc. Drops it to Cottle. Runyon guarding him. Lockhart setting a screen to the left. Cottle lost the handle. Out front, Edie wide open, and he drills the three. Bulldogs just getting out of position, not only on the rebounding side, but defensively as well. Helping out, but not recovering back. Runyon with the ball out front. Step back three behind the arc. In and out that goes. Lockhart collects the glass. Johnson feeling complete control right now. Hampton nearly cutting off Edie. Edie still dribbling. Now he'll swing it to his right. They work it down to Lockhart. Lockhart spins. Foul call against Marshall is going to give him 4. So Bulldogs will send Jack Armstrong to the scorer's table as Lockhart steps to the line. Bulldogs being paced by Ty Runyon. He's got 11. Hampton's got 9. Lockhart misses the first. Royals being led double-double so far by Livingston Cross. 12 points, 10 boards. Then 11 points by Cottle. Lockhart at the line again, 51-37. Lead it by 14, ties their largest. Still going to be there. Runyon collects the defensive board. He's got 4. Goes up strong, gets the bucket and the foul. Edie frustrated with himself, but Runyon took that off the defensive glass all the way inside and draws a 3-point play opportunity. .27 to play. Runyon converts the three-point play. Some Johnson fans across the way made the trip down upset. Cross gets it to Lockhart. Now they work it around to Edie. Guarded by McGee. Edie works to the near side. Now goes back left side. Ruckert gets the steal. Ruckert goes up for the tomahawk slam. He also took a hard hit to the floor, but he's back up. But what a dunk by J.J. Ruckert. Cuts it down to a 9-point game. 51-42. He's hurting. Hit the deck hard. So he landed on the baseline. Backcourt pressure. Carball has it. Hampton and Ruckert was applying that pressure. Ruckert got the challenge of guarding Lockhart defensively. Cottle with it on the left wing. Lockhart with it, hands it off to Cottle. Second leading scorer for the Royals. Blocking foul called on Ruckert, and that one looked like he was there, and Ruckert's going to pick up his second. Bulldog fans letting them know about it. Third on the Bulldogs. Looked like Ruckert was set up to take the charge against Lockhart underneath. Lockhart using that body. And it looks like we've got media timeout here. Bulldogs trailing 51-42. The timeout on the court. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Oh, 1.7 WJSQ.
Back here from James L. Robb Gymnasium. Jared Wright bringing you the action. Inbounds comes from Johnson. Bulldogs trailing by 9, 51-42. On a 5-0 run of their own between the largest lead of 14. Now got it down to 9. Cottle with it on the left wing. 6 to shoot. Carball open for 3. Drills it. Johnson puts it back into double figures. 54-42. McGee with it. Gets it up to Runyon, top of the key. Johnson likes to play fast pace, so does Wesleyan. Armstrong takes it off the dribble. Gets it to McGee. Step back for the triple, and it's good. Sean McGee answering right back. 54-45. Brown with the ball for Johnson, guarded by Runyon. Runyon trying to cut him off. Runyon keeping that nose lined up with the ball. Brown going driving in, running floater, somehow makes it. 56-45. Quickly offensively, Runyon, put back no good. Ruckert would have had a nice tip back. But Brown's going to pick up his third. So Runyon going to get a chance to go back to the line. Just converted the three-point play. Leads all Bulldogs. Makes the first one. 10-point game. (56-46). Runyon with 15 points, 4 boards. Knocks down the second one. Great job by the senior. Been fun watching him for the last 4 years and going back to his time at McMinn County High School here locally. Runyon applying that pressure on Brown. Lockhart with a big screen. Carball, top of the key, lobs it to Lockhart on the back door. Armstrong with him. Ruckert blocked it, but it falls in. It was not a dunk, no matter what Johnson fans think. Hampton goes up, gets free on the baseline, and a quick score by Rashawn Hampton. Cuts it back down to 58-49, a 9-point game. Now Wesleyan gets the foul called in the backcourt. Let's see if it's going to be on Ruckert or McGee. It's going to be on McGee, his third. So Wesleyan's foul trouble. McGee with 3, Hampton's got 2, Marshall 4, Callahan 2, and Ruckert 2. Brown with it, working up against Hampton. Lockhart sets a screen, they go left side. Bucket and the foul is Brown just out of control. Completely gets to the rim. Throwing it up. That foul, Rashawn Hampton gets his third. And Brown doing what he can to get the ball in the hoop, though. Credit him for that. And one play coming up here, 60-49. Missed it. Ruckert gets the rebound, clears it out to McGee. Armstrong, middle of the floor. McGee with it out front, gets it to Runyon. Runyon taking his defender off the drive. Layup no good, but he'll get the 2-shot foul. And this one's going to be on Brown. So Brown's got 4. Runyon at the line. First free throw is good. 10-point game. Edey back in. Brown will exit with the 4 fouls. Runyon, second free throw is good. His family just sitting to my left. Thrilled with that one. 9-point game, 12:25 to go. Edey working it up the floor, gets it to Lockhart away from the basket. They'll hand it off to Strozier. Strozier picked up by McGee. Driving down the left side of the lane, gets tripped up. A lot of fouls being committed by both teams. This one's going to be on McGee, and this one may be who's got 5 players left to finish the game. It's still 12 minutes to go, and Wesleyan's just picked up their 5th. So Strozier's going to step to the line. Senior guard out of Atlanta, Georgia, 67% shooter. Team 6th for Wesleyan. Correction on myself on that one. Strozier at the line. Knocks down the first one. 61-51. Escamilla returns. It looks like timeout called by Johnson during the free throw. So it'll be a full timeout on the court. Wesleyan trailing 61-51. We'll be back in 60 seconds. WJSQ, WLAR, Athens, Tennessee, Jared Wright, James L. Robb Gymnasium. Bulldogs trailing by 10, 61-51. They've cut it down to 9, but that's as close as they have been since the start of the second half when they cut it to 7. A lot of fouls being called. It's going to be Strozier to the line for a second free throw. Now they've stopped the free throw momentarily. It's been a total of 33 fouls called in this ball game. Johnson was 17, Wesleyan was 16. 12-14 to play. Strozier makes both of them. 11-point game. Runyon trying to get all the way in, finds Neverdon near corner for 3. Off the back iron. Ruckert skies for the rebound, gets it out to Hampton. Other corner for 3. That one is good for Rayshawn Hampton. Finally gets below the 9-point deficit down to 8. Ruckert can really jump out of this gym. Skying for that long rebound and finding Hampton in the near or the far corner for that 3. Escamilla down low, working against Hampton. Hampton's going to pick up his 4th. Swatting at the ball and felt like he got all ball, but so Escamilla will be at the line. 2 for 2 from the stripe so far. Callahan in for Hampton. 11:39 to play. Just too much risk to keep him in there. Free throw missed. Ball tipped out. Callahan comes away with it. Runyon helped free that one up. It's going to be Neverdon to get it. Neverdon takes it to the far side. Ruckert gets bumped by Strozier. Runyon out front. Reset with 15 to go. Armstrong rolls on the pick and roll. Runyon lost the handle. Gets it over to Callahan. 8 to shoot. Callahan working against Cross. Gets inside. Bucket is no good, but he'll get the foul. He gets bumped, and Runyon willing that pass out there. Cross is going to pick up his 2nd, team 4th. So Callahan at the stripe. Zay, as they call him. 2nd trip. Makes the first one. Actually, correction, it's going to be his 3rd trip to the line. 7-point game, 11:10 to play. 62-55. Both of them are good for Callahan. 6-point game. Closest it has been since 5:46, and it was 5 left in the first half. 11 minutes to play in this one. Still not even midway through the second half. Out front, Lockhart swings it to the left. Escamilla back top of the key. It comes to Edie. High post feed to Cross and then drops it to Lockhart. And Lockhart gets the easy bucket. Wesleyan trying to front the big man. Allows him to just throw it over top of the head. Runyon, backdoor pass to Ruckert. Got touched on the hand, but no call. Missing the lay-in. Finish at the other end here by Strozier. Went coast to coast after getting the rebound. Bulldogs turn it over in the backcourt. Got it to go off their leg. And so it's back to a 10-point deficit, 66-55. Callahan going to pick up Edie at midcourt. Again, Wesleyan missing a couple of big players, Marion Barber and Big O, as they call him, and then Manny Corradado. Runyon guarding Escamilla. Traveled with it, no call. Ball up and off the glass, no good. Armstrong collects the board, clears it out to the point guard and Callahan. Runyon, far corner for 3. In and out that one goes. Looked good the whole way. Wesleyan moving from our right to our left. Offensively, just couldn't get that shot to fall. Lavorne coming back to the scorer's table. Escamilla just falls down. Runyon gets called for the foul, his first. It'll be 1-1 for the rest of this ball game. 9:42 to go. Lavorne back in, Carball back in. Escamilla back to the line. 2 for 3 there. We'll take a deep breath. Bulldogs trailing 56-66. Like that, 67-56. 11-point game once again. Again, we won't be in action until a week from tonight. McMinn County will have them broadcast first against Meigs County. Escamilla makes both of them. And then the following night, we will have Tennessee Wesleyan here at home against Montree. 12-point deficit here with timeout on the court. 9:42 to play. Wesleyan trailing 68-56. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Back here from James L. Robb Gymnasium. Score of interest update. McMinn County playing in their Holiday Classic, hosting East Ridge. Boys are up 14-10 at the end of the first quarter across the town. Lady Cherokees came out on the wrong end of a matchup with Knox Catholic earlier today, but they'll still be in action. Lady Cherokees will play again tomorrow, and then the guys will play again Friday and possibly Saturday. 9:42 to go in this Appalachian Athletic Conference men's contest. Johnson in complete control right now. Wesleyan whittled it down to 6 at 62-56, but then Johnson has rolled off 6 straight points to put it back to a 12-point lead. Again, 9:42 to play. Lavorne gets the inbounds to Armstrong, gets it out to Runyon. Wesleyan trying to get through a double team. Ball deflected and then thrown out of bounds by Johnson. Wesleyan will have it side out of bounds, far side, 23 on the shot clock. And it comes to Callahan, back to Runyon. Again, Hampton sitting on the bench with 4. You got Marshall sitting on the bench with 4. Backdoor cut by Neverdon. Gets the lay-in on the left side. It's good. Good find down there as well on the bounce pass. Defense has got to buckle down. Physical game. Lockhart out of the game right now for Johnson. He's been their force inside. Cross now with it. Lavorne trying to play straight up. Succeeds the bucket. 9 minutes to go. Lavorne with the ball. Gets fouled. This one's going to be on Strozier. It's his 3rd. Team 5th. Ruckert back in for Lavorne. Coach Sharp, official, and him exchange of smiles. I think the official thought Sharp was complaining about the call. He wasn't. He was just complaining about his player and the way he was defending that. Runyon gets a screen from Ruckert. Armstrong. Now left side it comes to Callahan. Callahan. Quick crossover, gets free to the left side. Up off the glass, no good. Ruckert's tip back is good. J.J. Ruckert continues to impress, being the guy to crash the boards for the Bulldogs. Ruckert with 5 by his count. Escamilla with it, gets it to Edie. Edie guarded by Runyon. Ruckert guarding Escamilla. Escamilla goes up. Ruckert might have got a piece of it, but Cross gets the putback. Again, Wesleyan not boxing out the trailing Royal on the offensive glass. Runyon knifes through two defenders. Backdoor cut. Reverse layup by Ruckert, and one coming. He draws the foul, and great find by Ty Runyon. Strozier, going to get his fourth. And Lockhart's going to return. 10-point game, 8:03, and Ruckert continues to be the highlight reel. Actually, it's going to be number 4, Cottle, that returns for Strozier. Lockhart does re-enter, but for Escamilla. Ruckert at the line, and one opportunity, and he missed it. Rebound collected by Carball. Got to get the rebounds collected, and got to make the free throws as well. Wesleyan trailing 72-62. Fight down low, and we got a foul on Wesleyan, it looks like. It's going to be the 9th, and this one's going to be on Armstrong. Battling Lockhart down low. Freshman against the senior. Lockhart stepping to the line. Bulldogs shooting 68% from the strike, 19 of 28. Lockhart misses it. Armstrong collects the rebound. A little justice there for him. Runyon with the ball between the legs, trying to get past Edie. Takes it in there strong. A lot of contact off the glass and off the rim. Just couldn't get it to fall. A little too strong. Good take by Runyon. He's continuing to create offensively. Cross guarded by Callahan. Trying to take him baseline. Lost the handle, out of bounds, off of Johnson. It'll be the Bulldogs basketball. 7:21 to go. 10-point game. Runyon with the ball. Edie's going to pick him up in the front court. Gets it to Armstrong, now to Callahan. Armstrong back to Callahan. Callahan keeping the dribble, and then he slips. Floor getting very slick. Cross going up. Ruckert with him. Ruckert prevents a bad shot. Bulldogs drop it to Armstrong. Armstrong a left hook, and it's good. They're going to get a stoppage of play right here. Several players have went flying. It's an 8-point game, 72-64. Callahan walking it off. He had taken a slip trying to make a cut. And the moisture on the floor here at James L. Robb Gymnasium, nothing new. As long as you know where the water spots are, but Callahan stretching out that left leg. Athletic Director Donnie Mayfield out there handling the mop, making sure it's good to go. So 6:52 to go. Wesleyan down by 8 here. Started to find some buckets to fall. Out of bounds. Callahan pokes it away from Edie. Again, this series tied at 5 apiece. Wesleyan has lost 4 in a row to Johnson. Last win against them came here January of 2023 on the home floor. So a lot of emotions flying high in this one. Edie with it, drops it to Carball. Callahan picks him up pretty quickly. Never Don out there on Cottle. Edie wanting to get it down to Lockhart. Instead, he'll take it off the dribble, lost the handle, rolls over with it. It's got to be out of bounds. He traveled with it, but looked like he had put the ball on the end line, but the official down there says Wesleyan touched it and was laying out of bounds. So Wesleyan will have to guard in the half court. 5 seconds to shoot for Johnson. Their inbound sets look for quick scores. Blocked by Armstrong. Neverdon comes away with it. It's a 2-on-2 break. Neverdon layup is good. Bulldogs not going away, down by 6. 6:10 to play. Callahan gets it. Neverdon and Armstrong combine for it. Neverdon comes away with it. Looking to set up the offense. Wesleyan can cut it to a 1-possession game. Neverdon has it. Takes it, backdoor cut to Ruckert. Reverse lay in for J.J. Ruckert is good. 4-point game. 5:50 to go. Crowd getting into this one now. Defense chance started. Runyon trying to come around and get it as his man was trying to get the ball, and Runyon's going to pick up just his second. 10th, so it will send Johnson's Devon Cottle to the line. Cottle, first trip there tonight, he's got 11. 4 Royals in double figure. Cross leads him with 16, 13 for Brown. Cottle with now 12 as he makes that lay-in, or free throw. 5:39 to play. Edey will come out. Strozier with 11 as well. Brown re-enters as well for Johnson. Ty Runyon leads with 18 points, 4 boards, all scorers. Hampton with 14, Ruckert with 13. Both free throws are good. 6-point game once again. Runyon quickly up to Callahan. Back to Runyon it goes. Working from the Farmer Harrison court logo. Armstrong puts it on the floor, hands it off to Callahan. He brings it near wing. Backdoor cut by Ruckert. Gets the layup and the foul. J.J. Ruckert continues to impress here. And Wesleyan, I think, just got teed up again. Wesleyan's Ty Runyon draws the technical foul. And so now Wesleyan's going to give up another set of free throws at the technical foul. Cuts it to a 4-point game, but it's going to be Cottle down at the charity stripe. First free throw is missed. The crowd letting Cottle hear it. 5:22 to play. Ruckert still has an and one opportunity on the other end. Cottle makes the second one. 5-point game. Motion's running deep in this Appalachian Athletic Conference. Ball game. Ruckert at the line. And one opportunity. Can cut it right back to a 4-point game. Couple of technicals on the Bulldogs tonight have hurt. Allowing some free throws at the line. Ruckert misses it. Armstrong battles Lockhart but loses it. Lockhart clears it out to Brown. 5:17 to go, 75-70. Johnson in front of Wesleyan. Callahan right there with Brown. Brown trying to shade him with the body. Ruckert nearly gets the steal. Lockhart away from the basket, working against Armstrong. Backdoor cut. Escamilla missed it. Rebound tipped out. Callahan with it. Neverdon in transition. He'll step it back to Armstrong, back to Neverdon. Deep three for Charles Neverdon. It's short. Rebound collected by Brown. Brown trying to avoid the contact. Passes it out, and they'll reset the offense, does Johnson. 4:40 to play in this one. 75-70 again. Wesleyan man-to-man defense. Armstrong face up against Lockhart. Goes up strong with him. Ruckert gets the rebound. He'll clear it out. Up to Callahan. Callahan taking Brown all the way to the hoop and the score. 3-point game. 4:15 to go in this AAC matchup. Floor still slick. Callahan slipped, allowed Brown to get the pass. Blocking foul called on Ruckert. Tried to take the charge. Couldn't get it. Ruckert's going to get his third. Set up outside the arc, but couldn't get it. Now he's trying to ask that official that made the call, what do I got to do to get that call? So it'll be Brown at the line. And he'll step in, 75-72, 4:09 to play. Takes a deep breath. Missed it. Rattles in and out. Hampton coming back in for the Bulldogs. Well rested. The early foul trouble has got him at that point. But a big offensive weapon for the Bulldogs. Second free throw is good. 4-point game, 4:09 to play with timeout on the court. Bulldogs trail it 76-72. We'll be back in 60 seconds, back in 60. Athens, Tennessee. Tennessee Wesleyan campus here at James L. Robb Gymnasium. Dwayne Farmer, Stan Harrison court, and it is coming down to the wire. 76-72, still 4:09 to play in this matchup. Bulldogs have battled back, trailed by as many as 14 4 minutes into this half, but have now cut that down to a 4-point game with 4 minutes left in the half. So the Bulldogs will have Hampton out there. They're going to let the ball roll. Actually, they're going to restart the clock. It started before anybody had touched it, so they'll move it to 4:09 and let it roll in. So Hampton lets it roll. Now he'll pick it up. Cross midcourt, got Cross on him. A little height advantage for Cross. Armstrong, backdoor cut to Ruckert. Pump fake, goes up, gets blocked by Carball. So Johnson gets a big stop here. Still lead it by 4, 76-72. Mid-court across the way, there's several Johnson fans. Wesleyan with 10 team fouls. Here's a drive by Cottle looking, trying to create something. Inside, it gives it to Cross, and he converts the lay-in. Wesleyan bad position again defensively. Still a 6-point game, so 2-possession game. Here's Hampton with it, trying to create. Gives it to Neverdon. Neverdon drops it to Runyon. Armstrong hands it right back to Runyon. Runyon working against Cross, spins by him. Running floater, missed. Armstrong clears the rebound. Over to Hampton, far corner for 3, missed it. Carball chases it down, gets it to a cutting Brown now. Brown finds Cottle in the near corner, and they'll reset. 3 minutes to play. 78-72. Coach Sharp nearly getting himself teed up, arguing that he wanted the timeout call. So timeout on the court again, 2:55 to go, 78-72. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll just stay here with you through it, as it took them long enough to figure out what they were going to call, but Wesleyan trailing 78-72. Score of interest update, McMinn County across the way. Again, we'll be in action with them next week when they face off against Meigs County. 25-21, McMinn County leading at the half over East Ridge. Winner will play Meigs County tomorrow. And the loser of this game will shift over to play Knox West. Will not play until Friday. Either Knox West if you're the loser, Meigs County if you're the winner for the boys there. Coach Casey and the officials trying to get on the same page here. So Johnson has it side out of bounds, 2:55 to go. Lockhart catches the inbounds, away from the basket. Back to Brown it goes. Top of the key, Cottle wide open, missed it. Rebound over the back, no call. Lockhart steps through it. Ruckert blocks it out of bounds off of Lockhart. Ruckert came flying in once again to block that one. Out of bounds as it was Lockhart that tried to catch it and went off of his fingertips, but Ruckert did block the shot. 2:38 to go. 6-point game, 78-72. Runyon with it. Armstrong away from the basket, dribbles it, hands it off to Neverdon. Deep three for Neverdon, missed it. Bulldogs have gone cold from behind the arc here late. Under 30%. They're best in the conference at 40.4%. Brown goes flying, missed it. Rebound tipped around. Runyon comes away with it. Wesleyan has numbers, 4 on 3. Ruckert lost the handle, but it goes out of bounds off of Johnson with 2:07 to play. Wesleyan shooting 5 of 18, 27.8%. Coach Casey needs to talk it over with the Bulldogs. 2:07 to play, trailing 78-72 are the Bulldogs. We'll be back in 60 seconds. .207 remaining in this men's contest. Bulldogs trying to battle back here, down 78-72. It's been a minute and a half since anybody has scored. Moisture on the floor being cleaned up. As they wait, 26 seconds on the shot clock for the Bulldogs. It's going to be Runyon to inbound it. He's got Armstrong, Hampton, Neverdon, and Ruckert lined up on the left side of the lane. For Johnson, it's the tall man, Lockhart guarding the inbounder. Brown, Cotto, Carball, and Cross. Deflected, Armstrong picks it up. Runyon resets. Hampton fakes the shot out front. Goes all the way in and gets fouled hard on the shot. And that one's going to be on Carball. His third. Hampton steps to the line, 8th team foul on Johnson. Under 2 we go. Hampton makes the first one. (78-73). Hampton, nice touch from the lefty. Just a smooth shot. Full court pressure applied by Runyon and Ruckert. Carball nearly loses it. Outside, Brown with it, guarded by Ruckert. Ruckert nearly pokes it away. Backdoor cut by Carball. Gets fouled and the bucket. Wesleyan could not corral him well enough, and Ruckert's going to pick up his fourth. And it's an and-one play for the Royals. 6-point game, 1:39 to play. The ball collects it. 7-point game. Wesleyan on the offensive end quickly. Runyon pulls the three at the top. Missed it. Hampton trying to collect the rebound. Out of bounds off of Johnson. Hampton and Cross safely back up on the floor. Now we got, one official blew the whistle and everybody else is looking. Hampton's going to be the guy to key it in. Top of the key to Ruckert. 1:27 to go. Hampton working against Cross. Gets a screen from Ruckert. Hampton spins. Fadeaway jumper, missed it. Trying to chase his own rebound, and Brown collects it in front of him. Wesleyan traps in the backcourt, cannot do it. 81-74. 7-point game. Wesleyan trying to force the turnover. Ball, now baseline, Lockhart slams it home. Looked like he might have traveled with it, but nonetheless, it's a 9-point game, less than a minute to go. Neverdon over to Ruckert. Ruckert out to Neverdon. Neverdon behind the back gets tripped up by Cottle. And so Neverdon is going to step to the line here for the Bulldogs. So Neverdon at the line. Makes the first one. 83-72. 8-point game, 46.4 remaining. Second one from Neverdon is good. 7-point deficit. Pass deflected. Cottle ends up with it. Hampton trying to steal it away from him. Wesleyan trying not to commit the foul. Now it's going to be Neverdon, and that was mainly because Ruckert and Hampton had 4 fouls apiece, and neither one of them want to exit. Neverdon with his first foul will send Dallas back to the line. 34.6 remaining. Misses the first one. 83-76. Strozier back in for the Royals. He'll replace Cottle. Both free throws missed. Runyon collects the rebound. He'll push it up the floor. Gets it to Hampton. He'll take the three on the left wing. Missed it. Long rebound chased down by Johnson. Bulldogs going to try to apply pressure full court. Coach Sharp calls a timeout with 16.5 remaining. Bulldogs trail at 83-76 and not looking to foul there, it appears. So it's a full timeout. We'll take it with them here back in 60 seconds. .5 remaining. Bulldogs trail 83-76. Again, they will be in action coming up at Tennessee Chattanooga. So if you're in that Chattanooga area and want to watch a game Friday, and then they'll travel to Tennessee State on Saturday. And those are affectionately called the paycheck games, as they will play the bigger D1 schools and get the trip paid for, and everybody usually feeds them. Those teams do. But again, remind you, our next broadcast will be Meigs County here on WJSQ. Meigs County at McMinn County is our next scheduled broadcast on the 2nd, 6 and 7:30 tip-off. So it'll be after the Thanksgiving holiday here this week. And then we'll be back in action the next night with Tennessee Wesleyan against Montreat here at home. Inbounds comes to Cross. Clock down to 14 seconds. Wesleyan still not going to attempt to foul. Brown tried to just dribble it away. Wesleyan was going to let the turnover happen, but hard-fought contest. These two teams will likely be at the top of the running all season in the conference, but the Bulldogs dropped their first conference game, and Johnson picks up a much-needed win to help their status. They get their second win of the season, 2-1 in the conference now, 1-0 on the road, and have won 2 games in a row. Tennessee Wesleyan drops to 5-3 overall, now 4-1 in the conference, 1-1 here at home, and see their 5-game winning streak come to an end at the hands of Johnson, 83-76. Again, Tennessee Wesleyan led early in this one, but could not overcome a physical game with the Royals. Missing 2 of their big players for the Bulldogs didn't help at all, but it was Johnson controlling it for at least 3/4 of this game across the 2 halves. But again, telling you the final score before we take a 2-minute break. Johnson 83, Tennessee Wesleyan 76. We'll be back in 2 minutes, back in 2 minutes.